Hey, it's Steve Tenorello with Ad Machines, and welcome to Lead Generation Nation. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about a traditional marketing campaign, a campaign that uses direct mail, and a campaign that I like to call We're in the Neighborhood. It's all about marketing to the homeowners closest to a job site that you're doing today, or a job site that you have planned in the future. You want to get your name out there in front of the homeowners in this area, and you really want to put an offer in front of them that is attractive. And at the same time, people are going to get to know who you are, how you can help, and it'll give you some kind of brand recognition in a very small micro market. Now, a lot of your competitors aren't going to do this, especially if they're big and they're investing money on TV and radio, because this kind of campaign takes a lot of work. Typically, if you were just starting your business, you might do a campaign like this one. But if you are a big business or you're doing a couple $1 million a year, it's this kind of layered marketing that you can put into your marketing plan that will really help you fill the gaps, create interest, and build momentum in your sales. You just have to put the time, effort, and energy in place to implement the program. So this is the first of many where I'm going to be talking about how you can own your backyard. Own your backyard marketing series. That's what we're doing here on Lead Generation Nation. And this marketing campaign is designed right from the United States Post Office. They've come out with this product called Every Door Direct Mail, and I think it's probably one of the most underutilized marketing tools in your toolkit. And there's so many benefits of participating in direct mail today. Not a lot of your competitors are doing it. It's expensive when you don't know how to do it right. And I'm going to be talking to you about how to set these things up, how to go about putting it together, and incorporating the right message. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How to set up the direct mail using EDDM. I'm going to walk you through some direct mail pieces that are effective and that they work, and all the things that you should include in your direct mail message so you get a good response rate. So what is Every Door Direct Mail if you haven't heard about it? It's a targeted mailing offered by the USPS, and really what it does is it allows you to send a marketing piece at 18.7 cents to the homes along a carrier route. And a carrier route is basically the route the mailman takes when he's dropping off mail in a neighborhood. So I'm just going to go to the Every Door Direct website right on USPS.com, and it's so simple and easy to set these things up. In fact, if you work with a printer, and there's plenty of online printers that have this technology on their website, I'm just going to go ahead and throw an address in here. I'm going to use the Ad Machines main address here. I'm on the eddm.usps.com site. And the first step here is just to plug in your job site address. So I'm in a commercial area. I'm going to just find a residential area that I know. That's pretty good. So here we go. This area, this is a mixed residential with some commercial. One of the disadvantages of EDDM, and it's really a minor point, you're going to hit some businesses when you put these campaigns together. But that disadvantage is just, a very small thing compared to the postage that you're going to save. So let's say that I'm setting up a job here in this market, and I want to hit all these homes in this area. The post office is giving me the route number. So I'm just going to highlight this. Route C005. There's 575 residential homes. There's 52 businesses. So that's what the mailman, this is where he's going to deliver his mail. 575 homes, 52 businesses, and he may get a few of these routes on a given day. So that's 627 mail pieces. Average income, which is interesting because you can get demographic information right from the USPS. I'm at $73,000 per year, which is to me would be a good ideal fit for any home service business. If you're in that range or above, you're doing good. So $117 to mail this piece. So what you're going to do is just highlight the area on the map that you want to send this piece to, and you can highlight multiple areas. So if you wanted to do 1 mile radius of the job, you can do that. If you're just starting out, I recommend just doing one small job site at a time. Hit continue. You're going to pick the date. Now there's a few ways to go about this. If you are going through the online process here, you're going to see that you have the option to pay online or pay at the post office. If you're working with a direct mail vendor who has a lot of experience with Every Door Direct, you can automate this entire process and never touch a piece of mail. They'll take care of it for you. But if you're just going to print out a whole bunch of things and have it in your office, I always recommend doing the manual piece of this for the first time so you can get a good testing number, and then you can pay to have it all automated and turn it into a system. So I'm going to go ahead and pay at the post office. Now there's a few rules, and I'm going to go through a checklist here in a minute. But all you have to do is print the forms and bring your mailing piece to the post office, and they'll go ahead and put your print piece directly in the mailman's delivery sack. So there you have it. That's all you have to do to set up one of these campaigns. It's super simple and easy to do. And before you commit any kind of expense towards doing this, you can see if that area is actually going to give you a homeowner with a good average income. So next, what I want to talk to you about here is the checklist, and what you should be considering as you put together one of these campaigns. Now the mailing piece has to be compliant. It can't be any more than 3.3 ounces. So most mail that you receive, postcards, flats, envelopes, self-mailers, they're all under 3.3 ounces. So you can't send a box or a kit or something like that. So it has to be a flat. You have to include an appropriate label, and all you have to do is have the printer stamp local postal customer and have that designed on your piece. You also have to have the printer submit the mailing to you or the print job in bundles of 50 or 100, and you have to print out one of those order forms and slap it on the bundles for the total volume. And you also want to make sure that you have enough quantity to satisfy the carrier route. You really can't select which homes the post office is going to deliver the mail to. So you want to make sure you have adequate supply for that carrier route. And you just pay for the job and off it goes. It'll get into the mail stream. Now, in terms of performance, I'm looking for a 1% win rate at a 3-drop frequency. So what that means is I am going to send out 3 pieces, and I'm hoping to get a 1% response after sending out 3 different pieces. So if you're going to commit to doing this, I recommend hitting that neighborhood 3 times. And this is typically what I like to see when putting a campaign like this together. The first piece is a 9x12 oversized jumbo postcard. It's the size of a normal piece of paper, and it sticks out in the mail. Typically, the post office might take your piece and wrap the mail with it, so it's on the outside. It'll definitely get some exposure. So this is the first kind of piece you want to send, and you always want to mix up your media. So it's always the same message, the same offer, but in different formats. The second piece is a self-mailer. So it's basically the 9x12, and you're going to fold it in half. Not a lot of design change on that. And the third piece is an envelope. I like to call it a sneak-up piece. And all you have to do is print local postal customer right on the envelope, and Inside, you're going to have the 9 by 12, and you might also include a little note from the printer that says, hey, I sent this out. I just want to make sure you received it okay. And the campaign duration is 45 to 60 days. So if you have 3 different pieces, you're going to send those 3 different pieces out every 15 to 20 days or so, and that will be the duration. Now, just in terms of costing, I can give you some ballpark estimates on a mock-up campaign here. So a 9 by 12 postcard, if I'm going to print 500 of those, probably going to cost you about $125. Postage is the same for all of these pieces. It's $93.50. Self-mailer, $150 to print. The sneak-up mailer, $325 to print. The total expense for this entire campaign, outside of your time, is $880.50. So at a 1% win rate, I'm hoping to achieve 5 deals, and that will give me $176 acquisition cost. That's my cost to acquire a new customer in this market. Now just think about that for a minute. I'm going to send out 500 pieces 3 times to the same list. The same homeowners are going to see my message 3 times over 60 days. So you can imagine what that might do for your brand in protecting the market that you're going into. It's really effective if you have huge competitors in your market who are on TV, radio, and they have a message and they're educating the market for you. This is really where these types of campaigns are effective. If you're positioning yourself as a local go-to service provider, you're definitely going to have a high percentage of wins here. Now, this only works at a certain deal size, so it's I would say that this is somewhat expensive if you haven't done it before, but the math works out. If your average ticket is $1,800 or better, you're going to get a 10% cost to acquire a new customer. The only downside to this campaign is the logistics and the time to manage it. And that's really it. So if you have a junior marketing person in your organization, or perhaps you just make the time investment yourself for the first time, you can see what these numbers are going to deliver. And then from there, you just rinse and repeat, give it to a vendor, they'll take care of it for you. So that's my advice. Test in-house first, then outsource. So that's the basic framework of an every door direct marketing piece. Now, I want to talk to you about the message. If you send out bad mail, you're not going to get a response rate. So there's a certain formula that you want to follow when putting together direct mail. And this is a formula that we follow when we build pay-per-click ads. It's the same thing. There's nothing different in the marketing piece. You just have a lot more real estate, and you have a more intimate setting with the homeowner. The one thing I like about direct mail is that the homeowner might not have an immediate need, but they might hang on to your piece when the time comes for them to take action. Or perhaps they know that they have a need in the future, but they've delayed the purchase for whatever reason. Also, you're not going up against any competition. So in the case of an internet marketing search, you have a full page of Google search engine results that you have to compete against. In a direct mail environment, it's a very intimate setting where you can capture the attention of the homeowner. So just think about that for a second as we go through this. So I want to talk to you about a campaign that we built here for Ray at Water Heaters Now. He's one of our good clients here. And before I get into it, I'm just going to walk you through the format, show you the piece. But first, I just want to talk to you about the factors that go into creating an effective piece of ad copy. So first and foremost, we want to put some speed in there. How fast can you solve somebody's problem? Second, benefits. What am I going to receive? What's in it for me? Value. What can you do that's a little bit extra? What can you add on top that might entice somebody to take action because you've sweetened the deal a little bit with some value? Four, urgency, scarcity, deadline. What is going to compel me to take action as a homeowner? What kind of, there's a lot of artificial deadlines in sales. Act now before April 31st or April 30th, and then the sale will go away. Or you see it all the time with auto manufacturers, auto dealerships. President's Day sale, save, 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 and they recycle that same ad the next month. So what can you do to create urgency, scarcity, or some kind of deadline, but you want to do it in a way where it's believable? Next, there's always that local factor. People like to buy from people that they know, like, and trust, and who are local. So what kind of story can you put around that particular area that you're doing work in to really hit home that you're the local go-to provider? You couldn't have a direct mail piece without some sort of offer. So you want to come up with an offer. What is the offer? What is it that you're selling, and what am I going to do to what am I going to get from you in addition to the benefits? What am I going to pay? What is your offer? Next, differentiators. How are you different compared to other people who might have the same product or service? Perhaps you've been in business for a lot longer. You have special certifications, specialized training. You might have an affiliation with a particular vendor or supplier. Next, you want some kind of bold promise or guarantee. If your promise is 100% satisfaction guaranteed, that's not strong enough. You want to really develop a strong guarantee for this particular offer. Next is the trust factor. And you can easily accomplish that by copying and pasting reviews from online. And next is the call to action. What do I do next in your piece? So what we've done is we've designed this 9x12 piece that you can turn into a sales letter, that you can turn into a postcard. This is a 9x12 postcard. That's how it's designed. And what I'm going to do next is just read it to you and highlight the very specific ad copy formula factors that go into this, and really explain to you how this is constructed and why we did it this way, so you can understand the direct response aspect to mail. So I'm going to go ahead and read that. If you want to download this, you can just find the link here in the post, and you'll be able to download this template at no charge here. Okay, so here's the piece. I'm going to blow it up here. So, dear neighbor, my name is Ray with Water Heaters Now. We recently installed a new water heater for one of your neighbors in the city, in Minneapolis. The water heater, now that is the local factor. The water heater we replaced had reached the end of its natural lifespan and gave out while our neighbors were on vacation, completely flooding their basement and ruining a number of irreplaceable valuables held there in storage. So first and foremost, we're introducing the company. We're introducing the fact that you're local. All right, so here's the piece, the headline. We're in the neighborhood, replacing your neighbor's hot water heater. So there's some urgency in the headline. Dear neighbor, my name is Ray. And by the way, there's a nice, clean picture of Ray here smiling. And that really resonates with people. People want to see that you're real. So, you want to stay away from stock photos as much as possible. Put a face with the name. Show people that they can trust you. And really just put your brand out there as a personal brand. That will help you in your conversion. Hi, my name is Ray with Water Heaters Now. We recently installed a new water heater for one of your neighbors in Minneapolis. There's a local factor. I'm working in the name of the city. The water heater we replaced had reached the end of its natural lifespan and gave out while your neighbors were on vacation, completely flooding their basement and ruining a number of irreplaceable valuables held there in storage. So we're highlighting a pain point that's part of selling. if you're going to go on vacation, Mrs. Jones, it's probably a good idea to take a look at your water heater too. So that's what we're saying in the first paragraph. Since your home is very similar in age, I thought I would share with you the reasons why most water heaters fail and things you can look out for so you don't run into the same situation. But first, if you're looking for a price on a new water heater from a local trusted and highly reviewed company, I'd be more than happy to help. Just call me at this phone number and I will give you a ballpark price right over the phone. So, a few things there. We're putting a call to action right here, right into it as the homeowner is reading this. And if they get to this point, great that they know they can call and get a free price right over the phone, which is a differentiator because most of Ray's competition won't do that. So I've hit on 3 factors already. I'm not even a quarter of the way through. So what are the warning signs your water heater is about to fail? So the first thing you want to do is figure out the age of your water heater. If you can't remember when your water heater was installed, then that's a sign it's probably time to replace the one you own. And then we talk about looking for the serial number. As the water heater ages, it starts to deteriorate. Watch out for the following signs: rusty water, noise, leaking and moisture around the tank, gas odor. Call for instant water heater pricing. So this is all part of building the value. Ray is a trusted advisor in his local micro market delivering this mail piece. So it's good information that he's putting out there. Call for instant water heater pricing. I have a phone number. By the way, this is a tracking line. Now you'll notice I'm not confusing the call to action. I want phone calls on this. Yeah, I could drive them to a landing page and I could get a remarketing campaign going. People will naturally Google and go to this website if they're that interested. But it's all about the phone calls, baby. So we want people to pick up the phone and call. So they flip to the other side. They're interested. Affordable water heater replacement with Water Heaters Now. So I'm introducing the offer. That's why I put together a water heater installation special, which is an offer to help you replace your water heater and avoid unwanted, inconvenient surprises. And since I received a lot of interest from other neighbors in the area, I've partnered with my local plumbing supplier for a really good buy on half a dozen brand new high efficiency 50-gallon natural gas water heaters, the same type I installed for your neighbor. Not only did I get a special rate, but I also got the supplier to double the standard 6-year warranty to 12 years for the units. This kind of warranty will protect your tank against failure for its entire life. It's like having a bumper-to-bumper warranty on your vehicle for up to 500,000 miles. Now, I'm making these water heaters available to you at a significant cost savings. I just need to ask you a few questions and I could price out the job right over the phone. Just give me a call. So I'm going to walk you through all the factors that we've incorporated in here. We're putting urgency and scarcity into the copy. We only have 6 of these, half a dozen of these at a good rate. So right away there's limited supply. That's scarcity. We're doubling the warranty. That's extra value. It's also the strong promise and guarantee. And I have another call to action here. And I'm going to spell out the offer in detail. So here's what you get. You get a maintenance-free, Energy Star certified 50-gallon natural gas water heater with the latest in performance technology. All right, so we talk about the benefits of the tank, delivery and same-day installation, flexible Saturday morning install if you need it. So he's talking about flexibility in his scheduling. So that's differentiation. Basic installation labor, removal and disposal of your old tank, plus the warranty. Another call to action. I have my reviews here. Call for pricing. And I have a secondary call to action. If they're not ready to have their water heater replaced, perhaps they want to extend the life of the water heater by removing sediment and mineral buildup with a professional water heater flush service. So that's another way to make use of the direct mail piece, is to work in a drop offer to really make that conversion rate more effective, and it'll help you pay for the marketing campaign. So there you have it. That's the anatomy of the sales letter. You can take this and you can use this on anything that you're selling. It doesn't have to be for water heaters. You could do it for air conditioning replacement. You could do it for furnace replacement. Any kind of high ticket, high average dollar work. That's where you want to use this piece. That's where it's going to be most effective. That's where you're going to get consistency in putting together a system. And also, there's some mistakes you want to avoid. I'm just talking about water heaters here in this ad. You might say in the back of your mind, hey, let me throw a coupon in here for something else that you do. Don't confuse the offer. Don't try to stick too many things on this in an effort to diversify your approach. Just give that homeowner one specific offer with a drop that's relative to that campaign. So there you have it. That's how we set up an Every Door direct mail campaign. Thanks for tuning in here to the Lead Generation Nation webinar. And if you want to download this piece, we'll make it available to you here in the post at leadgenerationnation.com. Thank you for your time. I hope you found this informative.